Hi guys, from the Universal Orlando Resort. So it's kind of a busy day today, as you can tell from the toll plaza back there, but I want to go to Universal Studios Florida today to go to the New York section of the park. I just got back from New York. I'm wearing my I Heart New York shirt today, and I just want to see the facades over there and how they compare with the real thing that I just saw less than a week ago. So let's go into Universal today, just kind of walk around, have some fun, experience things, see anything that's new. I haven't been here in kind of a minute, so I'm excited to check it out again. I was just here a couple days ago, but that was to watch Avengers Endgame over here at the Cinemark, so we didn't actually go into the parks at all, but I'm here to go into the parks today, finally for the first time in a while. Going to start off today over in Universal Studios Florida. I do want to come back to Islands in a little bit just to kind of see if there's anything different or new going on over there in terms of merchandise. We got Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure opening up in about a month over there, so that's going to be really exciting once that kind of gets close to opening. But heading over here for the New York section of the park. The most notable difference, I can already tell without even having to step foot inside Universal, is the temperature. Right now it's about 89 degrees, whereas in actual New York, it was about 50 degrees. It was in the 50s and rainy. It was cold and terrible, and I only packed my shorts and t-shirts. Now today, my shorts and t-shirts are totally appropriate and fine for this New York because it's so hot. Thanks, Florida. All right, just made my way through Production Central following the Blues Brothers right up there into the New York section of the park. I went ahead and grabbed a map, which is probably gonna be impossible to show off with one hand, but essentially this is Production Central right here, which includes Despicable Me and Shrek and those rides. And then at New York is this whole area back here. And I'm so excited to check this out. So right off the bat over here is 30 Rock, the NBC Comcast building with the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon marquee right there. I got to see the real thing in New York less than a week ago. This is awesome. It is honestly so cool how similar the details are in this facade in the 30 Rock building comparatively to the real thing in New York. There's also something over here I want to check out. Next to the Metropolis Tribune is where Rip Ride Rocket is, and it comes out of this building. And this building was the Ghostbusters Firehouse, which I got to see the real thing in New York City as well. And then way back here is the New York Public Library. So the Firehouse definitely looks a little bit different than it does in New York City. This used to be where the Ghostbusters show, I think, used to be way back in the day, but they kind of repurposed it and changed it around a little bit. But back here, this is the New York Public Library again, and this is really, really cool getting to come check this out just a week after seeing the actual real deal. I kind of got a little too close to this, but that's the Empire State Building right over there. This is so awesome. I don't really think I've ever even gotten this close to this facade because it's always been in the back, but this was like the area where they did a bunch of shows back in the day. They got the lions on both sides of this too. This is really weird, but so cool. Wow. And then you can see that it's just a bunch of kind of steel pylons here kind of holding this thing together, more or less. But yeah, here's the back of New York. Here's a little bit closer look at the Firehouse here and just how it's changed over the years. Chief Michael Mormon. And then over here I think it says Paranormal Travel Agent Thomas Mott. It's interesting. And then right across the street from this is, I think, a subway station. You can see the Empire State Building a little bit better the farther you kind of back up, but this is the, I guess, the subway station. A little bit more grandiose than the ones that I saw in actual New York, but it's still really cool that they have one here. A lot of these buildings I didn't get to see in New York when I was there, like the Solomon Guggenheim Museum or the Metropolis Tribune or anything like that, but there is a lot of references around New York, I guess, referencing actual New York. So that was that portion of the park. Over there, over here is Macy's. That's really, really cool. And this is the Mummy. So I did want to check this out when I was actually in New York. I didn't have really a lot of time, but back when this was Confrontation, this was actually themed to be Penn Station, I believe. Yep, so back when this was Confrontation, it was a facade recreating the Pennsylvania station as it appeared in New York City at the beginning of the 20th century. So as you would go inside, it would be an elaborate production simulating a New York City subway station, Manhattan's Roosevelt Island tramway station, and a surrounding city block. So this was something I did want to check out. I wanted to try to see if we could make our way over to Penn Station. We didn't have time, but I don't even know if Penn Station now looks like this does currently, but that's what this, I guess, was based on, which is really cool. For the longest time, my favorite part of Universal Studios Florida has always been this street, this New York City street right here, and then the adjacent one right next to it, just because of the detail that's always just been so articulated so well here, all of these fire escapes and everything, and this is just so identical to what I saw in New York. All of these stairways and stoops leading up and leading down, the random assortment of shops and architectures everywhere, just kind of mashed into the same area. So accurate. The New York section of the park kind of wraps all the way around this area. It goes down this street, it goes this direction. There's an area over here. They actually do film productions here. I don't know if they do as much anymore, but they have filmed some interesting things here, music videos, and I think production shoots for some movies, maybe television shows. I'm not totally sure, but it's so accurate that it can be used in those productions, I guess. There's a music store over here, right across from an electrics and appliances store with washing machines. There's a barber shop right here. There's a hardware store right over here, just kind of showing the New York way of just cramming so much into such a little space. And then that area leads into what is probably my favorite park of Universal Studios Florida, which is this area over here because of how secluded and detailed it is. I come over here for fun photo ops and pictures all the time, and just now having been to New York and just kind of seeing what a random side street looks like, it is so accurate and detailed with all of the fire escapes and stairs and signs and stores and different architectures and structures and stairs going up, stairs going down. It's so cool. That street is right there, kind of off of the main New York street. And then again, all these other buildings here and architectures are just so cool, and I wish I could kind of pick out some more significant buildings and places over here. Wow. This is obviously Universal's version of a backlot where they did film a lot of productions here kind of back in the day when it was an actual production studio. Not as much really anymore, but they did do some stuff here. This is the area where it starts to kind of bleed into San Francisco, which is right over there, but you can tell it's still New York with these fire escapes right up here. Alright, I think I'm gonna head kind of back over here and then wind back that way. There are warehouse and storage buildings, loading zones. There's the hardware store, drugstore, a gym, just kind of showcasing the variety of New York City. And I'm walking around just talking about everything and all. Like, this is the first time that I've ever walked around this facade, this part of the park, but I've never gotten to experience it this recently after going to actual New York and seeing how similar it is. I'm heading back around to where I came from, just checking out the rest of the facades over here. There's a park over here. I need to actually figure out what this is. Right across from Jimmy Fallon is this park area right here, which feels like it should be a significant park because it does take up a lot of real estate in the New York area. Right now it's just kind of a smoking section. But I want to figure out what this is supposed to be because I didn't think about this when I was in New York. Alright, this is Gramercy Park. The Marilyn Monroe show is about to start. She's kind of right back there, but Gramercy Park from New York. New York. Alright, that's interesting. This is right across the street from these facades over here, which have a different architecture than other, I guess, buildings that I saw when I was in New York, especially older kind of stylings of cars and models. Alright, I think I kind of made my way all around New York and saw what I was familiar with from my trip there recently, though I'm sure that there's a lot more stuff that I didn't get to see that's represented here as well. I came back over here by Transformers and the water because this area over here used to be Central Park. But now, because they did this, the Universal's Cinematic Celebration, which looks like it's going under some work currently, they redid this as a viewing area for this show, so I don't know if it's still technically Central Park or if it's changed or anything. I'm gonna go over there to kind of check anyway, just to kind of see, but it used to feel a lot more like Central Park than it does now because it's a viewing area. Yeah, see, it's still Central Park, but it's not Central Park how it used to be. There used to be actual walkways through here and park benches and everything. Now it's just a standing area for the Cinematic Celebration. It's kind of sad. I remembered how it used to be over here where it was really kind of shaded with nice walkways and areas to kind of relax in. Right now the Beat Builders are over there performing, and here's a nice view of New York City. Wow, it is crazy how accurate that was. And it's cool to see all the pipes and all the mechanics down here for the cinematic celebration, right? And I think I'm gonna go and head on out. I did want to go over to Islands today to check out some updates over there as far as Hagrid's motorbike adventure, Hagrid's Magical Creatures motorbike adventure, and like the, I guess the different merchandise that they've kind of put out for that. But I think I'm gonna go and keep it at New York today, just to kind of have like a cohesive theme to this video. Plus I do have to go to work here in just a little bit, so I don't want to like push it too much by running all the way over to Islands. I think I may just go into the Universal store over here just to see if they have merchandise over there for Hagrid's motorbike adventure. See, now I'm heading back through the Hollywood part of Universal, which is also as equally detailed and has really cool references to Hollywood storefronts and architectures, but I guess that's a different video for a different day once I go out to LA. Right there's the Studio Styles store, which is right there's the Studio Styles facade, which is the pass holder lounge, which I was hoping to check out, but maybe I'll do that a little bit later. This is Schwab's Pharmacy, which sells ice cream, and I heard that they had a new Dole Whip type dessert, but it does not look open. Yep, they have a sign on the door that says they are not open, so I'll have to come check that out a little bit later too, I guess. But now I'm heading out of the park. There's not a lot of people over here. There's the Mr. Machine. All right, heading out of Hollywood, and I forgot that this opened super recently, the Today Cafe right over here. I'm gonna have to check that out in a little bit as well. But I do wanna head over to the Studio store just to see if they have that Hagrid merchandise. And they totally have it. They have a little bag here with all the creatures that they've released on there. That is so cool. They have this, which looks like a magnet. They have a little fluffy puppet here, which is interesting. You can control the 3 heads of Fluffy right there. There's the logo. They have a shirt here that looks just like the bag does, with all the creatures on there as well. There's a poster down here, a unicorn plush right there. Let's see if there's anything different on the other side. Okay, they have a hat. I like that. And then a phone case. That's super cool too. And then it looks like, is this a hippogriff? I think so. That's cool. And then a Fang plush as well. All right, that's some pretty good merchandise here. And there's one last look at the New York City background all the way back there. This was so cool to do after getting back from New York City. I'm glad that I did it as like my first thing back. But now I'm heading out of the park, back to my car. All right, so thank you guys for coming with me today to Universal, just to explore and have some fun and reminisce and be nostalgic over New York City, even though I was just there a week ago. It was really cool just to kind of compare the things that I saw in New York again with the places that are actually here, the facades that are very accurate. And that was something I tried to be conscientious of when I was in New York, when we were just kind of walking around sightseeing, being like, oh, I want to go check out the Ghostbusters Firehouse. Oh, I want to go check out the New York Public Library. There's so many cool different places that this place is built off of here. It's just, it was so cool to kind of see it and compare it. And if I ever feel nostalgic for my trip, I can always just hop in my car and pop 15 minutes away and come to Universal and check it out again, wearing my I Love New York shirt. So I guess that's it. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out, and back in Orlando, baby, ready to just enjoy the theme parks again and all the fun stuff coming to Orlando this summer. See ya.